I'm a big fan of Disney Channel original movies, and I'm a big fan of the Halloween Disney Channel original movies, and so this year I decided to watch them all and then rank them, so that is what this video is. I feel like I should have a little disclaimer because it was difficult to work out what was technically a Disney Channel original movie, so I'm only going to be ranking the movies that were made for Disney Channel and first aired on Disney Channel. So this doesn't include Tower of Terror or My Babysitter's a Vampire, and I only watched movies that were available in my country on Disney Plus, so I wasn't able to watch Under Wraps from 1997, but they did make a remake this year, and so that movie will be included in this ranking. And in the Halloween collection section on Disney Plus, it did include other DCOM movies like the Descendants series and the Zombies series, but I personally wouldn't count them as Halloween movies, and so those movies won't feature on this list either. And with that really long disclaimer out of the way, let's get on with my ranking of all 13 Halloween Disney Channel original movies.
Oh, you want to dance? Okay.
Under Wraps is about a mummy called Harold, and it's down to the kids to reunite the mummy with its lover and save it from turning to dust. And yes, Harold is an awesome name for a mummy, but this movie was kind of like boring, kind of like dragged in places, but it was funny at times, and it does have the kid who played Beast from Stuck in the Middle, so I guess it's got that going for it. But this movie was just way too modern for me. Definitely not my generation of Disney Channel, and so that's why it's in number 13.
Mom, I know you want to keep me safe, but I'm 18 now. You can't control me anymore. I'm going to witch you.
It pains me so much to put this movie this low because I love this Halloweentown movie series, but I hate this movie so much, and the reason it is this low is for one reason only, and that is because they recasted Marnie.
She recast Pietro?
As if they didn't think we wouldn't know it's a different actress. Literally everyone else is the same, but Marnie is different, and I don't know why. The story in this movie is that she goes to Witch University, and that is it. Nothing really happens. The story happens to her. She isn't a driving force in it. She is so annoying in this movie. Yes, Marnie is a little bit annoying in the other movies, but like she's iconically, if that's even a word, she's an iconic character, and she's like annoying for a purpose, and that's why I love her. And number 11 is Phantom of the Megaplex from the year 2000, and this was the first time I watched this movie, and it was an enjoyable first time watching experience. And this movie is pretty much Phantom of the Opera meets Scooby-Doo, and I did like those aspects to it, and they had like a really nice like subplot or like sub-storyline where it's like showing like the magic of cinema and stories, and I really liked that aspect to it. But then the Halloween aspect to it wasn't that great. The whole movie pretty much takes place in a megaplex, in a cinema, and I did really like it, and they had like spooky Phantom of the Opera things happening, and they didn't reveal the Phantom till the very end, and then it had a very much Scooby-Doo reveal when it turned out the Phantom was like the owner, someone who worked at the cinema place who just wanted to be appreciated a little bit more. And so yeah, that reveal was a little bit sad. I thought there was gonna be a big monster type thing, a proper Phantom. But yeah, it was good, not great. I don't know if I'll watch it every year though.
Just hypnotize the principal and Miss Riddle to make them think that they couldn't see you.
What?
Yeah.
Girl, I don't know how to hypnotize people.
This is another new watch for me. This is the first time I've watched this movie, and my opinions on this are interesting because this movie is interesting. I liked how this movie started out with like supernatural occurrences, so everyone's eggs got stolen, the clocks moved forward, waking them up like in the middle of the night getting ready for school, then turned out it wasn't school time and other stuff like that. But then it turned into something like really creepy for a kids movie. This was in 1999, so maybe that's a different time. And the story was pretty much if you stopped believing in your imaginary friends way too soon, and so you grow up way too quickly, they turn into like the boogeyman and they start haunting you and causing chaos for you. And so the main character, her boogeyman side, creating a lot of chaos for her, and everyone thought it was her that was doing it, but it wasn't. But then they also kind of had like an underlying theme of like, don't be afraid, don't let your fear rule you and stuff like that. And so there was kind of like a heartfelt, touching storyline. But I did like this movie, and I would definitely check it out again.
That.
It took me a second watch of this movie because originally I didn't like it that much, but upon second viewing I decided to like it a little bit more. This movie is literally what the title is. It's Girl vs Monster, and it stars Olivia Holt, and she's been fearless pretty much her whole life, but then she finds out her parents are monster hunters and she accidentally releases monsters into the world, and then she becomes very fearful. And so like Don't Look Under the Bed, this movie has a nice storyline where it's like, don't let fear rule you, don't let it take over you, and don't be afraid. And this also has a lot of great bangers.
All our energy and concentration has to be on Dimitri!
And I have an issue with this movie, just like I do with Return to Halloweentown. They recasted the Guardian.
She recast Pietro?
The female Guardian was so good, she was so funny, and then she got recasted in this. The new actress was kind of a little bit dull, made her character a little bit dull. She wasn't as funny, she wasn't as excitable, and she was just there. I honestly can't really remember this storyline, but it did have a nice thing where Alex first gave up her magic to save her dad, not realizing what she had to do, and then her twin and mum had to do it as well.
Pooh Bear Thanatos 23 Skidoo.
Will you just stop saying that one?
It's such a great sequel, and it continues like straight on from the first one. And this one's really fun because again they have to save Halloweentown, but they also have to save the mortal world because Kalabar's son has come back for revenge and he wants to cut off the mortal world from Halloweentown so humans and monsters can't mingle or whatever like that. And so the Cromwells can't get back to Halloweentown, and on the stroke of midnight on Halloween night the portal closes and so you can't cross over between worlds. Marnie, being the smart ass badass that she is, learns how to cross over, open up a portal, and saves the mortal world and Halloweentown from the grey spell. The mum became like a goblin type thing, and that was really creepy. But Marnie saves the day, rescues the day. Not as good as the first one, but still such a great movie.
Go Twitches! Go Twitches! Twitches! I've been thinking about that all day! Twin? Witches! Exactly!
And so this movie is about two twins who are separated from birth to save the world from darkness, but then the darkness starts to come back and gain more strength, and then they meet and they find out they're witches and they're twin witches, and so they're twitches. And it's really funny when they learn how to do spells, but obviously the most iconic characters from this movie are the Guardians, the man and the woman. I love them.
But if I'm really a vampire, then...
That's right. You'll explode into a million pieces. The entire restaurant will be sprayed with your bloody chunks of vampire festering flesh.
This was my first time watching this movie this year and I absolutely loved it. And I believe that the actress who played the mum is the same one who plays the aunt in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and so that just makes her even better. And this movie is literally what the title says. The kids set up their mum on a date with a vampire, not realizing that they are a vampire, and so the vampire wants to take back the mum for the mum to become like his vampire queen or something like that. And this movie is just really heartfelt because the kids just wanting to get ungrounded, have their fun life, and then they end up having to save their mum from a vampire. And I just felt like it was really wholesome and funny, and this is definitely one that I need to watch every year now because I just love it.
Molly, where did you go? Exactly! Where did I go? I don't know. I don't know where I went. Cleo! Ah! I'm not in the toilet!
And number 4 is Invisible Sister from 2015, and I believe this is the most recent film other than Under Wraps from 2021, and so this was kind of like my cut-off point for Halloween Disney Channel original movies. But I absolutely love this movie. It's such a cute little story about invisibility and visibility. The main character Cleo accidentally turns her older sister Molly invisible, and so she has to pretend to be Molly throughout the day, and she becomes one character who was originally really invisible, kind of like a background character, to one who is in the spotlight because her sister was really popular and really out there, and she's just not used to that. And so she kind of sees like the loneliness side of being very visible and also being very invisible, and then they have like a stronger sister bond towards the end, and I just love it because it's so cute between sisters. A great storyline about invisibility, visibility, like sometimes being visible doesn't make you invisible. Such a cute little story, such a cute little Halloween film. I think it pretty much takes place on Halloween day and I just love it. Before I give out my top 3, if you like this video, please leave it a like and subscribe for more. I will have a companion, kind of like a part 2 video to this, where I'm going to tier list rank every single Halloween Disney Channel episode, so you're going to want to stick around for that.
All those people, Dad, they're dead, aren't they?
They're alive, aren't they? They're alive. We can do something. Get them out of here.
This was the first time I watched this movie this year. You can kind of tell the older ones I hadn't really watched before, but this movie, oh my god, I loved it. This movie has a younger Kat Dennings in it and I love her, and this movie is pretty much about souls and collecting souls and souls that won't cross over once they've died. And so the kid's granddad dies, but he doesn't cross over immediately, and then they're being like haunted and chaos happens in the town because one soul, Zachary Cole, who was wrongfully executed, ends up haunting the town and causing chaos like every Halloween night. And this movie is just such a cute, wholesome movie. It is so funny. It is so atmospheric, obviously, like the whole like thing of like the Soul Patrol. I just love it.
You're a troll. You're a big pink furry troll.
So what?
This movie is so cute. If I just had a whole like TV show dedicated to monsters coming into the real world, like trying to integrate into a high school. I just love it. And so this movie is pretty much kids from Halloweentown come to a mortal high school and try and blend in to try and work out if humans have changed, and so like monsters and humans can be fully integrated. And I just love it because it's just so funny and it's so like upbeat, and it's kind of like an old modern film, and it's just so relatable, and I just love it. Have I said I love this movie enough yet? It's such like a fun, funny film, but then also the Cromwells lose their magic, but because they are so smart, love these women, they end up getting their magic back again. And yeah, this movie is just great. But coming in at number 1, honestly, this is one movie that I have to watch every single Halloween. My Halloween doesn't feel complete if I don't watch this movie. I need to kickstart every month of October with this movie, and you've probably guessed which one it is, and so I'm not going to drag it out any longer.
It's not polite to stare. Polite? Let's talk about how legal it is to drive with no eyeballs.
This movie is the most festive, atmospheric, cute, Halloweeny movie I've ever watched in my life. The first movie in the best Halloween movie series, Halloweentown. I just love it. It's so cozy, such a light-hearted Disney movie, and it's about a family learning now that they have magic, having to save Halloweentown from Kalabar, and the kids go on a little quest around Halloweentown collecting different ingredients from different monsters. We see a ghost shrink to nothing, we see like a werewolf, we see a vampire, and I just love it, meeting all these different monsters, seeing all these different creatures. It really story builds in this. I love the story, the plot is so cute, it's just so, I just love it, so cozy, so light-hearted, such a great Halloween movie, such a great Disney Channel original movie, and I just love it. And that is it for my ranking of all 13 Disney Halloween Channel original movies. Please let me know what your ranking of all these movies are, and if you have watched Under Wraps from 1997, add that to your ranking as well, because I really want to give that movie a go. I loved all these movies. None of these were like bad movies, just some of them were really frustrating because it could have been better, but it wasn't that great. And so that is it for this video. If you liked it, please leave it a like, and like I said, I'm gonna have a part 2 to this video where I'm gonna tier list rank every single Halloween episode. It's a lot. That is it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.